Open up your Bibles and let's get right into it. Genesis chapter 25. Abraham married another woman before he passed. Abraham had become a very wealthy man, and he left everything he had, his camels, all his flock, everything, his land, everything he left to his son Isaac. Abraham passed at 175 years old, and he passed because of just old age. However, his son Isaac and Ishmael then took him to be buried in the land that he bought from the Hittites when he bought their field, and so he could bury his wife Sarah. So he was buried in the same land where he buried Sarah. Ishmael, his son, he passed at 137 years old after he had many descendants. He then joined burial with his ancestors in the same area as well. Isaac then sent a prayer to God like, hey God, I pray that my wife can get pregnant, because he had found out that Rebecca couldn't have children and he wanted children. So he sent a prayer to God like, hey God, on behalf of my wife, can you please help my wife become pregnant? Well, shortly after, she became pregnant with twins. Now, she noticed while she was pregnant that the twins struggled in her womb a lot. Like, they were tussling and they already had some trouble in the womb. And she went to the Lord and asked the Lord what was going on, and she wanted to know what was happening inside of her. The Lord answered her and said that her sons would come of two nations, and that the older one would serve the younger one. Now, this kind of gives a little bit on how in the book of Jeremiah, when God says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you, because God is able to give her instructions on what her sons are going to become long before they even come out of the womb, and that she's still pregnant with them, and God knows exactly their life and what their life is going to be looking like. The firstborn twin name was Esau. He came out very hairy. The other twin name was Jacob. Esau grew up and became a skillful hunter, while Jacob was more so like a quiet, stay-at-home type of boy. Isaac loved Esau because they would eat wild game together, like they would travel to get wild game together, while Rebecca loved Jacob. One day, Jacob was cooking and Esau came in hungry. He then asked his brother for some food. His brother told him, the only way that I will give you some food is if you swear to me that you will sell me your birthright. Esau's like confused, because he's like, what does that have to do with me wanting food? However, Jacob would not give him any until he did so. So Esau then swore on oath to his brother that he could have his firstborn